Hello, my name is Brandon Herman. My book is What's the Big Secret? Talking about sex with girls and boys, created by Lori Brown and Mark Brown. Lori, the author, and Mark Brown, the illustrator. You may recognize him. He is the creator of the author books. They both created Dino Life guides for families. They're both parents. They have kids in Martha's Vineyard, and they're both committed to educating people and answering questions that anybody might have. Couldn't find a specific age range uh, on Amazon or anything like that. Nothing specified, and I would say that it is meant for both boys and girls, and you will come to understand that in a little bit. Main first topic is like how they differ, boys and girls, like the names, clothes, hair, playing, the way they act, the way they feel, and it's stressed deeply, very strongly that sometimes they differ, but not always. Like boys and girls can act the same way, and it's normal. They can feel the same way, and it's normal. They can have the same hair, clothes, same name. It doesn't matter. It's normal. There is a small anatomy lesson, and it gets even deeper into the anatomy of the reproductive organs. Shows differences in peeing techniques, which I thought was pretty weird. That was surprising to me. Uh, it shows touching yourself and touching other people is normal. I mean, as long as there's consent, it talks about communicating with people and what's right and wrong when it comes to doing these things. It explains puberty after that, and then it goes into how they develop from puberty into men and women, and they start to reproduce. And so this book is just everything, the whole shebang. It does not beat around the bush. Every single page, just straight to the point. Just it is what it is. So yeah, and just after that, just on to pregnancy. It explains contractions, all that. So yeah, there's no note to parents section. So I would just say, like, if your kid is able to comprehend these type of information, then he's okay to read it, I guess. It's used to explain any question that he or she might have about sex. So I think it's easy dialogue and vocabulary. So it's I think it is for a child to read, but if they aren't able to comprehend it, then there's no point in letting them read it. So the reviews are pretty cool. A lot of them are really good on Amazon right now. Here's the first one. Like last summer, I read this book to my child's children, and then I read it again this summer. They seemed a lot more interested. The youngest still seemed a little clueless, but the 8-year-old actually seemed very interested. She went and read it to herself, felt embarrassed after asking some questions, but I've seen her read it a couple times now, and she seems very interested. I like this book, so that's a good review. The next one, I bought this book for my 6-year-old stepdaughter. She's starting to ask questions about what boys look like and why I don't have a baby with her dad. The pictures in this book are just right for a 6-year-old, and there isn't too much information, so there's 2 really good reviews. Here's a bad one, though. I work with children, and one day a 10-year-old girl comes and tells me that a 9-year-old boy came up to her and said, I know you have a big secret. I know you have a vagina, etc., etc. Do you know you can rub it and it will feel good and all this stuff? So she was not happy. Too much information for her in this book. So you can see that like some people might be uncomfortable with how much children know about sexuality. So this book may not be for everybody. Anyways, so a page I want to show is page 10 and 11, and it's just literally cartoon drawings, like straight out of Arthur, of the anatomy of a boy and a girl. So yeah, it's like the penis, scrotum, leg, foot, arm, chest, vulva, navel, everything. So actually the only sure way to tell boys and girls apart is by their bodies. If you're a boy, you have a penis, scrotum, and testicles. If you're a girl, you have a vulva, clitoris, and vagina, all that. Next, 14 is how girls and boys are like playing and talking to each other. I'll show you mine. Let's see it. You may be curious about how their bodies look, other boys and girls, or even your parents, especially the parts usually covered up by clothes. The next page, 22, 23, is the anatomy part that goes in depth. I mean, this goes really in depth for a children's book. This is pretty crazy. I did not think that I would find this at a public library, but I guess it's there. So yeah, this is like vas deferens, seminal vesicles, all the way to the fallopian tubes, and the ovaries, and the egg pathway from the ovaries to the uterus. So usually the sperm and egg meet during sexual intercourse when a man and woman fit his penis into her vagina. It feels wonderful to share this special closeness when you love someone. And that sentence for me is kind of weird. Like, as a parent reading that to a child, I mean, I'm not a parent, so I wouldn't know. But, anyways, I would recommend this book. There's a lot of good information. It's not too controversial, I would say. A lot of good illustrations in the way that kids act, and yeah, that's how I feel.